guys! Today we're going to do something a little bit different and a little unique. You don't need any brushes. Instead, we're going to make art using our beaded chain. So, let me show you how to do it. We're going to use two colors. We're going to use white and we're going to use black. We're going to use white as the background. And so I'm going to take a cup and I'm going to add some pouring medium using my plastic spoon to measure. I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 spoonfuls. And then I'm going to take my white acrylic paint. Hopefully I have enough. And I'm going to put in just under a spoonful. There you go. I'm also going to add to that a little bit of rubbing alcohol. This is 70 proof percent isopropyl alcohol. You can also use 95. If you are at home, you can put just maybe half of a spoonful of the alcohol in. And if you are not at home, then just ask Miss Thomas. I'll bring the alcohol around and I'll put it in your cup for you. Stir that up. You really want to stir this well. Make sure that all of the paint is mixed in with the pouring medium. If there's chunks in your cup, then you'll have chunks on your canvas. That's not going to look so good. So it takes a bit of effort to really stir this in. If you count to 200 slowly, you probably will have stirred it enough to work. Okay, so put that aside for a minute. And now we're going to mix our black. I have already been messing around with this project, so I already made the black. The white is going to be the background, and we're going to cover the entire canvas with the white. That's why we mixed so much. But the black is just going to be for our detail painting that's going to happen on top. And it's just enough to be able to dip our beads in and have them get coated with the black paint. So you don't really need to have that much black. You can use 1 spoonful of pouring medium. Put it in, and then half a spoonful of black. Put it into your cup. Miss Thomas will come around and I'll add a little bit of alcohol to your black. You can mix that up. Okay. Now we are going to get a little bit messy, so make sure that you have your apron on. And put down my sticks. Make sure this is mixed. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cover the whole canvas with white. And it might seem silly, you might be saying, well, Miss Thomas, the canvas is white. Why are you covering it with more white? Well, the texture is going to be different. if we leave it a raw canvas versus if we use the paint. And then the second thing is that we're going to be using the chain to drag our black through the white, and it's going to work a lot better if it's being dragged through some of our paint with pouring medium. So we can go ahead and pour this on top of our canvas, and then we're going to tilt the canvas in an effort to try to make the entire canvas have this white paint pouring medium combination. And if you're very clever and can pour the extra back into your cup, we will be reusing it. And you can see that some of it's going in the cup and some of it's going on my plate, and that's okay, because anything that goes on the plate is fine. It's just extra. I do, however, want to get this all over the background. So this is the part where you might get a little bit messy, which is why you should have some paper towels. Okay, so that's pretty much all over the background, and we're going to put this aside. You can kind of help with your finger if some of the white acrylic pouring medium mixture didn't get all the way to the edge. Now you want to go ahead and dry off your hand. You can see I've been working on this project because I still have paint on me. And you want to have a paper towel handy. The next step is where it gets really fun. So I'm going to, with my dominant hand, meaning if you're right-handed, you want to hold the chain with your right hand. And then you're going to dip it into the black paint. And it might go all the way underneath the black paint, and if you need to, then you can take your stir stick and just kind of tap at it to make sure that it goes all the way into your black paint. Now, this is a bit of a messy part. If you were to just leave all of that paint on your bead, it would be too much. So you're actually going to take your fingers and gently press the beads, and then pull the beads up, and it kind of tickles on your fingers. And yes, it gets paint on your fingers. That's why you have your handy dandy paper towel. You're not holding the beads really tightly. You're just kind of getting off the excess paint. Now you're going to lay the beads down in an S curve. And I'm going to start up here at the top of my canvas, and I'm going to gently put my beads down, and I'm making them go back and forth and back and forth. And your beads are longer than mine, so yours are going to be able to make bigger S's, and that's going to be even better. Once you finish your S up at the top, you're going to gently and slowly drag straight down to the bottom of the canvas. Don't pick up the beads. Don't pick them back up. Pull them down to the bottom of the canvas toward your tummy. And you can see what happens as you drag them. The beads with that paint make this very interesting design. So once your beads are off of the bottom of the canvas, you're going to take one of your fingers and you're going to gently hold it right next to the canvas, not on top of the canvas, but to the outside edge, so that when you lift your beads up, and you're going really slow, nice and controlled, then you will still have the bead going all the way down to the bottom of the canvas. Now we're going to go to our paper towel. We're going to fold the paper towel around the beads and gently pull the beads through the paper towel. Put them back into the cup. If you need to use your stir stick, you can use your stir stick in order to make sure that they get covered. Take your fingers, gently pull your beads through your fingers. Before you do anything else, wipe your fingers off. Come back and you're going to do the same thing on the left and on the right. So you're going to make an S. Okay, you're going to gently pull straight toward your tummy, watching as you pull slowly to see what the design looks like. You're going to put, as soon as your beads get off your canvas, you're going to put your finger down so that when you start lifting the beads up in the air again, then it still reaches the bottom of the canvas before it turns up. And you're going to come over here to your paper towel, wipe off your beads, put them back into your cup. Take your fingers so that there's not too much paint on your beads. Come back and do your S curve. Pull straight down, using your finger at the edge of the canvas so that your beads stay on the canvas all the way down to the edge. And this is an abstract flower. Isn't that neat? I love it. It turned out great, and I'm a big fan of black and white. So this is your first bead pull, and I'm going to show you another version using our leftover white and a little bit more color, and using our black and our beads again. So you can go ahead and take this, put it in your drying space, and then pull out your second canvas. Okay, great. Now, you probably have some leftover white, and you might need to add a little bit to it in order to make it enough for a background for our second canvas. But we can take advantage of the fact that we have some of the pouring medium and white in there, and so instead of just making the background of our second one white, let's make it a color. So you can use yellow, you can use blue, you can use green. But one thing that you want to do is, because we are going to be reusing our black and making our design with black, you want to make sure that the background color is light. Then it'll be high contrast, a light background and a dark black flower design. That's going to look great. We're going to add in another spoonful of the pouring medium. I don't think that was a full spoon, so there we go. And we're going to add some color. Since I want to keep it light, I'm going to do yellow, but I'm going to do half yellow, half white. Then it'll be more of a pale yellow background. Okay, so there's half yellow and half white. And it doesn't even need to be a full spoonful. Let's see how that turns out. Get a stir stick, stir it in, and since there was white in there to begin with, and I added more white, the yellow, it's definitely yellow, but it's more like a sunshine yellow and not so much like a chickadee yellow. It's still a beautiful color. Okay. That looks great. All right, so this is going to be our background again, but we're going to use the chain in a slightly different way. So I'm going to go ahead and this should be thin enough that we can just move it around the canvas. And if you find that you need to use your stick and kind of help just barely touch these little areas where the yellow isn't wanting to flow, you can kind of help it along, and there should be enough of the pouring medium to kind of help it settle. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Whew, it's a good thing we got paper towels nearby. This is a messy project. All right, now back to our chain. So this time, instead of making S curves, we are going to make big circles, big arcs. So you can take your chain, again, I'm holding it with my dominant hand, and seems to be covering pretty well, but if you need to, you can use your stick, just kind of dab at it, get it in there. All right, use your fingers to get the extra paint off of the chain. Make sure that you wipe down your fingers. And then this is kind of an abstraction, so you can kind of do as you would like and just enjoy it. It's really just kind of fun and interesting. You can make these big circles, and then you can just see kind of, if you pull the chain away, wherever you're pulling it away, you can see the texture and the very interesting pattern that is made. So I'm just pulling it off to this side. Again, I get to the edge of the canvas, and I want to make sure that my finger is down so that I don't lift up my chain and have it come off of my canvas. Look at that. That is so interesting. I'm going to come back and wipe off my chain. Now, I didn't necessarily have a plan. You can kind of see where this process is going to take you. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, maybe I'll try to do something kind of symmetrical. You can decide if you wanted to do just one, or if you want to do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 pulls. I think maybe I'll try to do something, again, something over here. Let's see, how did I do that? Like that, like on the outside? Okay, So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna come over here on the outside, and I'm gonna crisscross over, and then I'm going to pull to the outside. Look, it looks like shells. Putting my finger down to guard the edge. And that paint that is flipping off of the edge, not a problem. I'm gonna put this. So maybe I'll try another one. Just have fun with it. Don't worry about trying to make a masterpiece. This is your first time doing this process. So just enjoy it and kind of learn, do some experimenting. Okay, so maybe now I'm gonna go this way. Crisscross over, that's just so cool. Okay. So this is neat. Liking it. Pulling the chain straight up. Cleaning this out. And let's try it again. Make sure that my black is working. Go ahead and get off the extra. Oh, it's just so interesting to see what happens with the beads. Okay. Now I could stop at any time. If you get to a point where you think, well, that looks pretty neat, you can definitely stop. And I'm just curious to see what's going to happen if I do a couple more. Okay. And I kind of like the idea of it being lighter and brighter up here, and then just having the bottom be darker. So I'm going to try to get one all the way to the corner. I don't know if I can do this or not, but why not try? Oh, I forgot, you guys. I totally forgot to use my fingers over here. Okay, so you're going to see what happens when you forget to strain the bead itself. See how heavy it gets? And it doesn't have these nice open spaces. Oh well. I said I wanted it to be darker down there. There you have it. Okay. Let me see if I can remember to do that this time. Here we go. The thing you don't want to do is you don't want to cross your beads. Okay, I'm liking how it's darker down here. I want to push that just a little bit. And it's possible that I might ruin it, but you know what? You never know unless you try. So I'm going to come back here and see if I can do something. See what happens. Ooh, look at that. What? I did crisscross my, I don't know, I'm kind of not hating it. How this came up, it almost looks like a wave. Okay. kind of liking that. I feel like it's done. I feel good about it. All right, so don't throw your chain away. Wash it, put it back in your bin. And make sure that you wash your hands. And that's it, guys. Just see what you come up with. Have a great time. Don't worry about making it perfect. Don't worry about ruining it. I think if I were to put this on a wall, I might put it like this. I don't know. You decide what you want to do. Thanks, guys. Bye.